Welcome to LifeBlood. This is George G, and the time is right. Welcome to today's guest, strong and powerful Dawn Dahlby. Dawn, are you ready to do this?
Let's go.
Let's go. Dawn has a CFP, a BFA, a CRPC. She is the first certified behavioral financial advisor, I think maybe in the world, Dawn, but certainly in the United States. I'm definitely excited to have you on. Tell us a little bit about your personal life, some more about your work, and why you do what you do.
Well, that's a loaded question for sure. So not to bore anybody, but I'll tell you, personal life. 30 years ago, I was a singer dancer on a cruise ship. I decided to get a degree after that in finance. I am married to my husband Gary. We are high school sweethearts, dated since flipping middle school. I have two teenage daughters, one 17, one 18. I'm a wealth advisor. I've been giving fiduciary financial advice out for the last 22 years. I'm finally bringing it digitally to people that want to have $1 million that might not have $1 million yet, because our firm just typically in the past has helped people with $1 million plus. But I realize there's so many people out there that need our advice that we weren't able to serve in the past. And so I'm opening up the doors, and that's why I'm here talking with you, George, because I want more people to get the right type of advice.
I love it. That's an example of technology helping us for good instead of evil, Dawn.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think that maybe there's some parallels there. You've been at this for, you mentioned 20 plus years. Has the way that we interact with money changed and evolved over that 20-year period, just like technology has changed?
Yes and no. I think in all aspects, I think I've been so deep in helping people build their comprehensive financial plan. And I believe everyone still has that same fear over even the last 2 decades is, am I going to have enough? Am I running out of money? And how much do I need to have for the future? And your company talks about alignment of money. And that's why I wanted to connect with you so much, George, because I believe that it's the proper alignment with money. And I think people's emotions and money really hasn't changed that much.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, right? It's like we may get smarter, we may have more information, but there's still that really strong, heavy emotional tie.
And it doesn't go away. Like I've sat in over 10,000 client meetings, and I've helped some of my clients today are still the same clients I had when I started in the business in 2021. And I looked at, they started maybe with $17,000 in their investment portfolio. Now they have $3 million. And, if you don't work on your relationship with money and understanding how important that is, people still have this fear of not having enough. And so not only have I opened the doors up to wanting to help people that don't have the $1 million yet, I also believe that helping people build their wealth, that they needed more than just this financial plan to help them build money. They needed a little bit different angle. And I believe what's most important, and I teach people this philosophy, is how to build wealth and live wealthy, which is WELLTHY. And living wealthy is, if you don't deal with your fears or your negative emotions with money, you're never going to have enough. And so this living wealthy is really twofold. Is really about living life at the intersection of being able to have a good relationship and spend guilt-free today, so you can still live for today and plan for tomorrow at the same time, if you have that right alignment that we talk about. And living wealthy is also about living life at this intersection of having financial freedom, but at the same time building your personal internal security as well. So it's this merge of security and freedom to create this fulfillment and happiness of what we all really want in life. Because just working on the money is not enough.
I think that's really well said. Is this something that technology is enabling you? I know that you're now bringing it to more people, but it sounds like, and I also the kinds of conversations that I like to have are in depth, and they've been enabled by technology so that people are able to do a little bit of the work on their own instead of me having to walk them all the way through it. Has that been your experience? How do you structure it?
That 100%. So here's the thing. I have just spent the last 3 years creating a digital platform because I've realized in these 10,000 client meetings that 50% of the time you're saying the same thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm helping people build their financial plan, right? So we're helping them with all areas of finance, but 50% of the time I'm saying the same thing. So why not record that and get that out to the generalized public at a way discounted rate versus me having to use my time to explain it. And then so I've created this platform that allows people to build their financial plan at like 90% off, and they're still getting fiduciary CFP advice, but they're doing it privately, they're doing it on their own time. The stuff that I repeat over and over is already pre-recorded. And then when people need that extra accountability or that extra like implementation on how they're going to take action on their financial plan, then they get to sit down with an advisor. And it's so much more streamlined. So we've been able to not only scale, but and help more people, but do it in an efficient way that I think works for the consumer now. And especially after, I say post-COVID, are we really post-COVID? Who knows? But
Right.
in this new world we live in, is people want information efficient, fast, and they need it at the right price, because we all know with inflation and everything else, life's getting expensive, but we still need to take care of our finances.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
One of the challenges that we have as human beings when we're trying to make substantive changes, and if we're in the business of trying to help people make those changes, if I'm a strength coach or a diet coach or whatever it might for financial advisor, it's getting people to really take ownership and grab a hold of it and see it through. How has your experience been with that?
Ownership and to see it through, I think that's a hard thing for all of us. I mean, we're all human beings, and if things aren't right in front of us, we live in this treadmill of life, right? And there's we were talking about right before we hit record, like the kids, right? Where there's so much coming at us. We're working full time, we were parenting, we're trying to live, we're trying to survive. And I think, most people, if they're honest with themselves, that they don't have this, we don't always have this motivation to self-help or to do things on our own. And so, when we use our digital platforms too, like part of my platform, probably just like yours, George, is that there's a part of it that is pre-recorded, but there's another part that we need accountability. We need to be held accountable to take action. We need support, because we all know life throws us challenges every single day of the year, and we need that community and that support and that allowing us to go live in those platforms too, because I think that's important for people, that they need help with that ownership.
Yeah. So the behavior piece, you talked about how half the things you say, we have the same conversation over and over again because it's extremely valuable and it's information people 100% need. The behavioral piece, the messy stuff, the sticky stuff, the stuff that we don't want to think about or talk about, the stuff that it's hard to talk about. I don't know when did it click for you that you needed to be talking about those things? Have you always known that, or is that more recent?
Well, it's not recent. It was probably 12, 14 years ago, but it was when I was dealing with my own pain.
Hmm.
And so I got into the business. Remember, I went from a singer dancer to getting a degree in college in finance just because I didn't know what else I wanted to do. I just know I wanted more money and I wanted more life. And that's what this is about, right? We all want more money so we can have more life. And it wasn't until I built my income up to 5 times more than I ever dreamt I would have from an income perspective, but I still felt broke.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what's going on with me? I'm always chasing the dollar and I'm always feeling like there's not enough. And when it resonated with me, and then I saw it in my clients too, and I'm like, okay, something needs to be changed and fixed here. And I realized that the technical advice of building your financial plan and how to invest your money and not getting ripped off from a cost perspective and how to minimize your taxes and all that kind of stuff is valuable, super valuable. And we all need that. But that alone is not going to get you to the desire that we all want. We all want to live a purposeful life and, have passion and be fulfilled and content and happy. We all want that. And I found through my clients and through myself that is, building a financial plan is not enough. So, so in my belief about how to build real wealth up and how to live wealthy is really going through a process that I call own it, earn it, and grow it. And it's because it involves the psychology around human beings and money and not just the technical part. The technical part is all there. I'm a CFP. I get everything you need to know to have enough money, but I've incorporated that technical part. So own it is where you're getting clarity and you're aligning yourself and understanding who you are as a human being, your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, your purpose, your vision, your goals, all that kind of stuff. So you're crystal clear on making decisions on how you want to lead your life. That's the own it part. And the earn it part is I'm making sure that people are earning the right type of income, that they are getting paid for what they're worth, that they're earning this right to live an elevated life. And that's the personal development too. It's hard. Just like I know, every day is full of challenges. And life's all how we react to those challenges, especially your challenges with money. So I've created this platform that allows people to incorporate in their financial plan this personal development. And it's really helping people understand they're in charge of the way they think and they're in charge of the way they react with their emotions to money and to life. And when you figure that out, you're able to earn more money and live in more clarity. And so that's the earn it part. And then the grow it part is just here's the technical piece about growing your wealth. So it's own it, earn it, and grow it. And that's the financial plan that I've designed. And like I said, it's taken me 3 years. I have a book coming out on this. Just so many things, because I so strongly believe that in order to really get to the level we all are striving for, we all want to live wealthy and have the right amount of money to support that.
I love it.
That's a long answer, George. I'm sorry.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
How do I know if I'm ready to really engage in that process?
Do you have a pulse?
I do.
Are you breathing?
Yes.
Okay. That's how you know.
Got it. I think that.
We all are at different levels. Some of us have a lot of debt. Some of us don't have enough income. Some of us have a lot of money. We just don't know, we don't know how much is enough. And it's really about getting, think about financial planning and building wealth it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. And there's always one or multiple pieces missing, and it's just plugging in those. For sometimes it's people need more income. So we have to figure out, we got to solve that. We got to add that piece to the puzzle. For some people, it's like, I have enough income, but I'm not managing my debt appropriately. So we figure out that piece. Some people are just not managing their taxes. Other people are like, I'm investing my money without a plan, or they don't even realize the extra costs they have for investing in their 401k. So we're trying to minimize those costs. Like all that kind of stuff matters. So it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. I think that along with a pulse and being able to breathe, I think it's for the person knowing that they want a better life. And if they want more out of life, then they're ready.
I love it. How much is enough? How often are people able to answer that question?
I would say never. There's been studies. There's been studies out there. I mean, they've interviewed billionaires all the way down to, poor people, and they've asked them the same question: how much is enough? And their answer is always a little bit more.
Mm.
And I think because we're always searching, and I think we're always searching for more. We're human beings, we're always growing. And I think it's okay to maybe not feel like you ever have enough. I think there's actually a sweet spot to not having enough, because we're continuing to evolve, like, and grow and become something more. That's just, this earth, you just look out the window, nothing's ever stagnant, right? Everything's always changing. But it's nice. Here's the thing. It's okay to want a little bit more at the same time that that there's enough.
Hmm.
So to know through a financial plan that there's going to be enough is really cool, but to want a little bit more than enough, I think that's freaking cool.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think that's really well said. And, the only way to answer that question is to ask it and to really think about it and spend time, which is essentially and exactly why you need to go through this process that you've been talking about, because just knowing that, oh, I need to save 8% and it needs to go into my 401k and that's not getting the job done. That's not going to lead to happiness. That's not going to lead to that sense of feeling wealthy that you're talking about. You need to do that other work first.
Yeah, and you need to do both. You can't just build the money. You can't just do the personal development too,
Right.
because we need money just like we need oxygen. So you have to do both of those things. And I think it's so important that when people take the time out to do that work, they're able to see a completely different lifestyle. Because I've been in the business long enough where I've seen client A and client B with the same income, the same resources, the same opportunities, and one has 3 million in their portfolio and the other client has $30,000 in debt with no portfolio. It's all in the decision making and following the plan. And it's not that difficult if you just put in some time, like you said, to take a step back and think about what's really important and the things that you value, because we all have this opportunity for something super powerful. And it's just, are you going to embrace it or not?
I love it. Well, Dawn, you've already given us a lot, but the people are ready for that difference-making tip. What do you have for them?
We've talked about it, but I would say this, that, money alone will never provide you happiness, just like we said. But building this worth and your wealth combined will. And I think I've been clear with that, but I think there's nothing more powerful on this earth than saying that the differentiator is really about building your wealth and your worth combined.
Well, I think that is great stuff. That definitely gets a come up. Building your wealth and your worth at the same time. That is awesome. I love it. Well, Dawn, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people learn more about you? How can they engage with you and your new platform?
Yeah, well, my web address is Dawn Dahlby, DAHLBY.com. I have something for everyone there. There's a ton of free resources, all the way up to allowing me to partner with people to really help them implement their wealth building journey.
Love it. Well, if you enjoyed this as much as I did, show Dawn your appreciation and share today's show with a friend who also appreciates good ideas. Go to DawnDahlby.com. It's DawnDahlby and take advantage of the great resources that Dawn has been sharing with us and been working so hard on to complete and start building wealth as well as worth at the same time. Thanks again, Dawn.
Thank you, George.
And until next time, keep fighting the good fight. We are all in this together.